Prison, what a wonderful life it is. Here I am, sitting in a cell waiting for my hot pot to heat up so I can have a cup of instant coffee and reminisce as I ponder on my current circumstances. I reflect on the inability and fact that I am well into my 4th year of incarceration. I still wake up some mornings wishing it were all a bad dream. I didn't grow up in a home that used alcohol, but when I took my first drink at the age of 13, I knew I would drink again. Being raised in a home founded on high moral standards didn't seem to install any fear of consequences once I first took my first drink of booze. Sometimes, as I rode my bicycle around the neighborhood, I would spy a grown-up in his yard drinking beer. Returning later, when I knew he was not at home, I would break into his home and steal the golden beverage from the refrigerator. I recalled too well the morning when another guy and I stole my dad's credit card and pickup truck so we could run off to California and become movie stars. We had a pistol so we could rob stores when the time came to stock up on beer, cash, and cigarettes. Before the day of traveling was over, however, I told my friend I could no longer do this and needed to return home. I knew my mom and dad were climbing the walls with worry by now. My friend refused to turn back, so I let him out of the truck and I never saw him again. My parents may have recognized my behavior as some serious adolescent rebellion, but they had no idea it was fueled because of my alcoholism. At the age of 16, I got a part-time job at a disc jockey for a local radio station. Those in the position to know and observe that I had the knack for this kind of work. So I dropped out of high school and started spinning records full-time. Drinking and partying went hand in hand with this job. Soon a pattern began that lasted many years. When the alcoholism became obvious to my employer, it began to affect my job performance. I would simply resign and seek employment with another broadcasting company. I recalled one day when I was doing a midday show, I realized I could not go another minute without a drink. So I put an album on and quietly walked out of the radio station unnoticed. I drove to the liquor store and bought a bottle of whiskey. Got back into my car and turned on the radio and started drinking. As I sat there listening to song after song, the album eventually came to an end and all you could hear was the needle scratching against the turntable. Someone at the radio station finally realized that I was no longer in the control room and put on another record. During many years in the broadcasting industry, I worked from time to time as a radio storm chaser. It was my job to use the radar information to follow the storm and spot a tornado, hail, or flood, and the storm-related hazards and damage. I would then use a cellular phone in my vehicle to report live over the radio while chasing the storm.